All right, we are going to work through this topic 2 assessment review. Our first question talks about the vertex form of a parabola. It tells me that the h here is -2 and the k is 6 because those are my vertex. That means these other guys over here are just plain old x and y. So I've got to use my formula. So my formula is y equals a times x minus h quantity squared plus k. And I'm going to plug in the pieces that I know. So y is -2. So I'm going to plug in -2. I don't know a. X is 0. H is -2 squared, and then k is a +6. Then I'm going to calculate. These two negatives in the parentheses turn into a positive, so a negative and a negative are going to make that a positive. So now I'm looking at -2 is equal to a times 2 squared plus 6. 2 squared is 4, so -2 is equal to 4a plus 6. I switched it around because usually our coefficients are in front of our variable. So now I've got -2 is equal to 4a plus 6. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. -8 is equal to 4a, which means if I divide by 4, I get -2 is equal to a. Well, that doesn't answer the question. Remember, the question said, what is the equation? So I have to go back to this guy right here, and I've got to plug in, and I only plug in 3 things. I only plug in the H, K, and A. So the H, the K, and the A. Those are the only things I'm going to plug in. So when I actually write those down, it's going to be y equals A is -2, X minus -2, so X is plus 2 quantity squared plus 6. This will be my final answer on question number 1. Question number 2 talks about our parent function, and our parent function is this guy right here. That's just telling me what the shape of the graph is, so that would be a parabola. It's going to transform 6 right, that's my h, and 3 up, that's my k. So this guy is h, this guy is k. So I'm going to start with that formula that I know. So remember, it's y equals x minus h quantity squared plus k. And I'm going to plug in those pieces. So y equals x minus 6 quantity squared. Up 3 is plus 3. And then I've got to actually simplify by multiplying it out. So y is equal to x minus 6 times x minus 6 plus 3. So we go through in our double distribute. So we do x times x is x squared. X times 6 is -6x. -6 times x is -6x. -6 times -6 is +36. And I'm going to tag on my plus 3. So then I'm going to simplify. So I've got y equals x squared. These two guys are like terms. -6x and -6x make -12x. And then 36 plus 3 is 39. So this is in this form of standard form, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And it looks like this. All right, on number 3, we can always plug this guy into Desmos. I'll show you that part next. If you're going to do it by hand, you can do the -b over 2a. So remember, h is -b over 2a. A here is 1, b is -8, and c is 6. So if I plug that in, it's -8 all over 2 times 1, which is 8 over 2, which is 4. Yay! So that gives me the x value of my vertex. To find the y value, or the hk, so I've got 4 and I still need k, I take my 4 and I plug it in for x. So f of 4 is equal to 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 6. And that I would plug straight up into my calculator. Okay, so I hopped onto Desmos and I did two parts here. One part, I went ahead in and did the 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 6, and I got negative 10. So this would give me negative 10. So that would fill this guy in, negative 10. That's my vertex. I also graphed it. So I just legit typed in exactly what it says there. F of x equals x squared minus 8x plus 6. And when I did that, I was able to point out the vertex, and I clicked on it, and it told me that the vertex was 4, negative 10. So like legit, you can do that too. Makes it a whole lot easier. All right, last one on this page. I'm going to have to legit go ahead and graph this guy. So it tells me the path of a projectile is launched from a 32-foot tall tower modeled by the equation, yada, yada, yada. The 32 just tells me where it's starting, where the y-intercept is. So, I mean, if I wanted to sketch it, I already know it's going to be somewhere around here because that's about 32. I know it's going to go up and then come back down. I need to know the maximum height, so that's going to tell me the vertex. The vertex will be my maximum height, and it'll be the y value, so hk, it'll be my k value of the vertex in order to find the maximum height. So I'm going to go grab that graph right quick. Okay, so I grabbed that graph, and I can see that the maximum height is 2 and 96. So I'm going to go over here to 2 and 96, so that's going to be like 80, 90, maybe like here. So I know it's going to go up and then down, wherever. So this point right here is 296. So the maximum height is going to be 96 feet. All right, that's all for page 1. I will do another video with page 2 so we can break it up and make it a little easier.